Okay, well, you've obviously enjoyed training with us on our seminars and in the lessons. Obviously, I need no introduction, but if you don't know me, my name's Joe Biggs. I teach Goshin Jiu-Jitsu. First of our sort of companion series to go along with the seminars just is there for you to have as a revision aid. It covers the major points we would have covered teaching and training together. I really wish you the best of luck in all your endeavours, and you will enjoy watching this DVD just as much as I've enjoyed making it and also meeting you on our training sessions. What we're going to do now is that we're going to start working our principles of blocking, the parry, use of the shield, and I'm just going to demonstrate the basic block that you find in Goshin Jitsu. Now, many times people, when they're training, tend to sort of throw out the baby with the bathwater, so we spend a lot of time when we're teaching and on our seminars, and hopefully you would have picked up on that when you're training with us. So I'm just going to run through the basic principles of our blocking. Obviously, normally you're facing on the person, but we really need to concentrate on our hands coming up on our centre line and coming right up to this position here before our hands descend to move out to block something or to move out this way, or if necessary, they're coming up very slowly. And it's most important that we cover our head. So if Maynard comes with me now, and I'm going to ask Maynard just to take a couple of seconds, and he's just going to hit me as fast as he can. Really go for it. Straight in, mate. That's the position that I need to have first of all before, if he comes in straight again, I try and come out here, because the reality is I need to protect or guard my head first of all before I can do anything else. Okay, so importantly then you saw that within Goshin Jitsu already, blocking is not so much blocking, it's more of a shielding motion. So your hands are coming up, and the most important thing is to protect this head. Your weight is slightly pushed forward, so you're pushing into the ground and you're creating the concept of start of the shield on one side of your body, and your head is protected and your other hand is coming up ready to strike. And this is the position that we want to be in. So as he comes forward, I've stepped in and I've covered. Because if you've got, and the other hand is here covering for this one, so when it comes in there, that I'm actually ready to cover. Okay, thank you. Still exploring our concept of blocking, parrying, and using the word shield. If you have time or the opportunity to move to one side, this is the ideal sort of movement that we'll be looking for. It's important once again that we still make sure that we cover our face, but as we do this we make sure we come out to the side, and where possible move forward. So we're moving at a 45 degrees angle, so we're moving away from anything that's coming forward, but at the same time, equally, if we only do one thing right, and this is the most important things right, is the hands come up and we're covered. Maynard's going to punch me. And we do it once more. Hands come up. And then once more, I'm going to move and hang up. Importantly, we've talked about the use of blocking, making sure we're covered. We mentioned earlier the use of the word shield. We would have referred to that on the seminar quite a lot. It's very important, where possible, that you remain on the outside and at the rear of your opponent, your assailant or your attacker, because then they can actually act as a very effective block or shield for you. And I'm just going to demonstrate this now. When I'm here, I'm on the outside. If Maynard wants to do anything, he has to turn around and try and hit me. But the whole time, I'm behind him, and if anyone's coming through me from these things, this is the position ideally where we want to do, and it's very easy to take them down by just coming straight in to the knee. We're not coming in and trying to stamp or anything else. This just rises up there. And hand is held here, so he's fallen directly in front of me. Knee by the chest. We'll just demonstrate on the other side now. Punch comes in, the guard is up straight away here. And finally, once more, Maynard, from there, please. Let's reach the head first of all, here. Striking. Now, we pay a lot of attention to striking within our systems. We spent a lot of time talking to you on the seminar and during lessons about this. So just to recap, there's a couple of key things. We have our ABC approach, which we'll go into greater detail later. But the most important thing is what I use the terminology range, and then also striking surfaces of the hand. So we'll deal with range to start with. You would have seen earlier in the previous chapter, if I borrow Maynard. Maynard, you stand there for me. I was in the shield thing. Lots of people when they're training, and we've talked about this in the seminars quite a lot, my natural range and the most obvious place to hit people when I'm in this position is here, not necessarily coming over here because my range is wrong here. If I'm going to kick through and up here, my range is wrong. So the easiest thing, my range here is very simple, it's just there, one or there. The easiest thing, that's my range. Thank you, Maynard. Would you like to sit down? Thank you. And the other thing that we need to talk about is using the proper striking surfaces all the time. You notice that when I kicked using the flat of my foot because I was kicking a fleshy area. The hand, it has 4 striking surfaces. This surface here, it has the back of the hand here, the chopping side there, and the nice fleshy bit here. And if Maynard stands up for me, let me just bring you here. So with this part, palm heel coming into here, it needs to come in. With this part, we're coming in here. With this part, we're coming in here. With this part, we can come in at these sorts of angles. There. We would have talked to you about our ABC approach. A is for alignment, and this is the absolute fundamental to your striking. And most of you have probably heard, and we've referred to it, about people hitting with their fists and getting boxers fractures and everything else. Alignment is a very, very simple thing to learn how to do properly. You don't need pads or anything else. What you need to do is find a nice hard surface, preferably a wall, and start with a very simple striking technique that you have within your system, and very simply you just strike the wall slowly, and then you build up your speed. And the important thing about having alignment and building up slowly is that we talked about range earlier. You always hit within your range, because if you don't hit within your range, you overextend your reach. And if you overextend your reach with power, stress, or too much adrenaline, what's going to happen is your elbows are going to pop, your shoulders are going to pop, and quite often you're going to miss your target and you're going to hit over the top. So there's 2 things there within your alignment. You need to have good range and you need to have good technique, and then you build up very slowly. And you do this regularly so that you're then in a position to not hit through the wall, but just hit the wall hard enough so you don't actually damage these bones, and you're able to hit someone very strongly, very powerfully. Now this will take time for you to do, but it's something that you do with all aspects of your striking surfaces of your hands. So equally, we've done it with our palm. We now need to know that I can hit with the outer aspect of my hand. Know that I'll hit with this part of the hand, but I pull my thumb back so I'm not hitting with my thumb. And know that we can hit with the back of the hand. And if I know that I keep within my range, I'm using correct alignment, I'm using my breathing, and I'm demonstrating control, which is making sure that I don't overextend or chop through, then I'll be able to hit someone very effectively and very powerfully. Additionally, we need to make sure that when we do these strikings, we're always breathing out with very much a or a sort of breathing. We're pushing down on the opposing leg as we're striking, so we're grounded, and we're making sure that we're hitting the good targeting areas of the body when we do this. So if I borrow Maynard again, so very simply, your weight goes down, you're hitting within range, so I'm not trying to hit over there, I'm not chambering back, I'm just here. Just enough, and I'm hitting a good target area. And of course, as you're all martial artists, I don't need to tell you where I've just hit and the physiological effects that will happen when you hit that particular area. I didn't hit them particularly hard, and that this system of thing is something that you can introduce to your students, or you can teach complete beginners how to hit safely, very effectively, and not even making a fist. As we did in the seminar, we talked about throwing, and now we're going to review the couple of basic principles that we have with throwing. The throwing that we concentrate on is based upon very simple body movements, very simple footwork, and works on the premise that we need to maintain our own balance while we break and disrupt someone else's balance, and that additionally that we will be doing this on an uneven surface, or a surface that would be wet and slippery. So hence there's no large movements of the legs, there's no large movements where we're balancing on one leg. We just break the balance and we maintain our own balance when doing this. And I'm going to demonstrate this with Maynard now. Maynard's going to come here, so we do the whole thing. It comes in, I'm making sure I'm covered, I've moved out, and I'm on the outside of the person. And we have one basic way of throwing the person is that we disrupt the balance by bringing him in a circular fashion, and we take this leg here, and it comes through either with our shin or with our leg, but we'll find it's easier to take with our shin, and again we have good control at the neck. My foot is here, and my other knee is able to come straight in on the ribs. We'll demonstrate it the other way on the outside again. I'm shielding here straight away. I'm moving, rotating so the balance is broken, and the weak point is here, and we attack through the weak point with very low line, making sure we're very steady. Again, my leg is near his head, and the other leg here is straight onto the rib cage again, attacking their breathing. It's very hard for someone where they've been impacted on the floor and then your weight is coming down. Again, concept of range and our striking comes in. Correct alignment, correct range, control of the targeting area. And finally, once more, my guard is here. I've broken the balance here, through here. Again, as you see there, 1, 2. We're now going to look at throwing or disrupting the balance while maintaining our own balance, while working within or on the inside of our opponent or assailant. Again, most importantly here, I'm coming through. We need to break the balance and we come up through the middle. And it's very much up and down. Nothing fancy, no leg movements, just in, up and down. Obviously as he's fallen, our principles of range come in, our striking and everything else, and we strike with the appropriate target here. And I'm breathing and putting my weight through the floor there. You're not striking the groin, you're looking at the middle area of the abdomen, which is full of blood vessels. A very powerful strike there will do a lot of damage. It will force the diaphragm up, the air will come out, and quite often they'll vomit when they're doing this at the same time. Notice I didn't make any contact or try to grab or wrestle with my assailant at any time, because I want to be concentrating on what's happening around me, and he's been impacted on a hard surface, not a mat, hard concrete that's outside, and I haven't let my feet slip. I just come in, up and down. Okay, we're now going to talk about some very basic principles of locking. I think these are very important, and as you've seen on the seminar, quite often people again throw out the baby with the bathwater when they do their locking. They try and get ahead of themselves and they don't concentrate on these two very simple things. I'm going to borrow Maynard's arm. Some basic principles of locking is that we look at the arm or whatever joint, whether it be the wrist, the elbow or the shoulder. We need to take it to its limit of its natural extension. So it means you need to pull it out. And then we either decide to rotate it or we take it to the limit of its natural ability and then rotate it and hyper